This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Well, good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tim Gordon alongside meteorologist Chris McGinnis this morning. Good morning to you. This is what a lot of our neighbors are waking up to this morning. PGE reporting more than 15,000 people without power right now. Pacific Power adding 1,000 more homes to that number. But the good news is those numbers have been dropping over the last few hours. We have a lot to get to, but let's start with Chris. And Chris, dry roads coming in, so that was nice.
Yeah, the rain, the atmospheric river here has pushed off to the south and east and has greatly dissipated, right? But not before leaving a record daily rainfall, 1.87 inches in Portland yesterday. 4.07 inches of rain fell in Astoria yesterday. That was a record. McMinnville picked up 2.17 inches of rain on Friday. Okay, that was yesterday and last night. The atmospheric river has shifted off to the south and east and has dissipated. That said, it's still raining pretty good in far eastern Oregon. Out towards Baker County, you folks out towards Burns and Hines, you're getting the back edge of that now. Your rain should be dissipating. On the back edge of this system, colder air is now coming in. So we'll have showers popping up here and there and snow levels eventually lower a bit in the Cascades. So we're not done with the rain. We're just done with the all-day rain, right? Here's a look at radar right now. A couple sprinkles showing up out towards Tillamook, east of Astoria. Pretty good shower right now up in Columbia County, about ready to work its way into central Clark County as well. All right, we were waking up to 50 degrees last check at PDX, and that may wind up being our high for the day. I don't have us going much farther from there. It's 48 in downtown. It's 46 in Tigard, and we slip south of the Willamette Valley right now. Salem, waking up to 49 degrees. Quick look at our day planner for today. Lots of clouds, a few sun breaks, and also a few showers here and there. I think the showers will be most numerous before noon today. Better chance of the sun breaks in the afternoon, with temperatures generally in the low 50s. Tim, another round of rain and significant mountain snow heading our way tonight and tomorrow. More on that coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, can't wait to hear about it. Thanks, Chris. Here's what caused more than a few of the power outages we've seen. Fire crews dealt with an electrical substation fire. That was near the intersection of Southeast 60th and Stark. This happened around 9:30 last night. Neighbors report hearing several explosions and seeing an orange ball in the sky. Portland Fire says it appears a transformer exploded. They're now investigating a cause. Well, heavy wind and rain brought down trees throughout the Portland metro area as an atmospheric river moved through. The Portland Bureau of Transportation had several crews on the ground throughout the day. Bryant Clerkley has been following the weather for us over the last 24 hours. Bryant, what a show, huh?
Yeah, you're right, Tim. A lot of the people I spoke with say they were bracing for the worst weather-wise. Crews worked throughout the day to restore power and pick up trees that fell on power lines. We saw this on Germantown Road near Highway 30 and in the Sellwood neighborhood. PBOT had 9 different Vector trucks working throughout the area with vacuum hoses attached to them and tanks that cleaned up storm drains. On the Columbia River, deputies attribute strong winds to a floating home's escape. There was nobody in it at the time, and the home came to rest around Marine Park. Over in Sellwood, workers spent most of the day dealing with a tree that fell into pieces while restoring the power in the area.
At 7:45 in the morning, there's always a parade of kids and their parents going to Llewellyn School, and today was like in-service day, I guess. So yeah, we lucked out, and so it's just been, cleaning up the mess and getting the wires hooked back up.
Encouraging residents to clear storm drains around their homes. And we're going to continue to follow the weather, and for more updates, you can check our website, kgw.com. Tim.
All right, Bryant, thank you very much. Well, let's head to the coast now, where folks who are used to big storms were hanging onto their hats. Catherine Cook went to Astoria last night. She shows us the conditions there and how people got through the stormy weather.
Coastal winds and heavy rain as the atmospheric river runs through Astoria.
Well, you just hunker down.
Greg Spear says it's been a rough day and a half along the coast, especially where he lives.
The wind is blowing so hard on my house right now, I can hear it, and it's just rattling the doors and everything. So I think we hit 40-mile-an-hour gusts last night.
Actually, last night was pretty hardcore, but today was fine. Just light wind, rain.
Light is not exactly how these ladies would describe it.
So rain pants and Gore-Tex, and even the Gore-Tex failed.
Well, it's blowing around a lot and it's flipped backwards a few times, and my hood won't stay up, so I'm stuck using the umbrella.
Wait for it.
Oh.
Hang on tight.
I'm expecting tonight to be another wild ride, if you will.
In Astoria, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Okay, from the coast, let's head to the Cascades now with powerful winds hitting Mount Hood. At one point, gusts reaching, listen to this, 114 miles an hour on Timberline's Magic Mile up there at the top of the lift. Because of those conditions, the National Weather Service advised people to avoid going up to the mountains for now. People we talked to are being patient, but they're already looking forward to ski season.
This is the weather that we need, so we're waiting for the storms to really fill in the spots, and it's going to be a great winter.
A quick reminder, if you're planning to head through the passes this weekend, check road conditions before you go, and definitely be ready with things like chains for your tires, blankets, and extra supplies as well. Switching gears now, we are just a few days away from November's midterm election. It's important to know that the results you'll see posted on election night are not final, far from it, in fact. Elections administrators will still be awaiting on thousands of ballots to arrive after Tuesday. Those ballots are then checked, verified, and counted, and then reported. Evan Watson has a look at what we should be expecting in this upcoming election.
An election doesn't happen overnight, and neither do election results. This year, Washington's elections director Stuart Holmes says voters may need to wait longer to find out who's won. He says he knows some candidates are telling voters to wait until Election Day to mail in or drop off their ballots.
And whether that's through information they're hearing from any source to hold their ballot until longer, it is possible that we'll have more counting to do on the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday following Election Day.
In both Oregon and Washington, a ballot will be counted as long as it's postmarked by Election Day or returned to a ballot drop box by 8 p.m. But it takes time for elections administrators to verify signatures, check voter information, scan the ballots, and report the results.
We conduct an audit of every election.
Clark County Auditor Greg Kimsey says this trend was evident in August, when Republican congressional candidate Joe Kent received votes that were tallied and reported in the week after Election Day. It was several days after Election Day before he finally overtook incumbent Jamie Herrera Butler for the nomination.
If you get a large number of people depositing their ballot on Election Day, kind of a disproportionately large number, that also will slow down, that will reduce the number of ballots included in those early preliminary election results.
Kimsey's opponent in the auditor race, Brett Simpson, is one of the candidates encouraging voters to vote last minute. However, he falsely claims that it's a strategy to combat voter fraud.
The second thing is you go and turn it in the last day. Yes. Wait till the last day to turn in your ballot.
Washington election officials say Simpson's claims of election fraud are false and unfounded, and it makes no difference to the results if a ballot is received on Election Day or in the 18 days before.
Although encouraging people to hold their ballot until Election Day, like you said, isn't against the rules, by suggesting at any point in time that the bad guys or funny business is happening is flat incorrect.
Multnomah County officials say you can expect about 50 to 60% of votes cast to be reported on election night. In Clark County, Kimsey said normally about 60% of ballots would be reported that night, but this year it could be as low as 40%. Clark County is currently fourth to last in the state in percentage of ballots returned. However, waiting for election results is nothing new. Local and state election officials have always had to certify the results in the weeks following the election.
What I do believe is voters are a lot more concerned about the accuracy results than fast results.
Evan Watson reporting, and stay with KGW and NBC News for complete election coverage in the lead up to the November 8th election. And of course, on election night itself, we've made it easy for you to get up to speed on local candidates and measures as well. Yes, there are certainly a lot. And just text the word election to 503-226-5088, and we'll text you a link back to KGW's election guide. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes.